Okay guys, in the previous video, I taught you all the basics of these arc and chord properties. If you've not watched that video, first of all, watch that video, which I have given in the link above in the I button. Now, we will going to learn with this arc and the chord properties. So first of all, you should know what is the meaning of this arc and what is this chord. So what is a chord? Which I have already explained to you. Chord is nothing but the line segment joining any two points, and the circumference is called as chord. Now we are learning four properties in this particular video about the chords. So what are those four properties of the chord? Okay. So right now I'll teach you four properties related to the chord. According to me, there are only two properties and the two are converse. Okay. So what are those two properties? Let's see one by one. So what is this first property, guys? One second. So this is our first property. And now what is this first property? A line drawn from the center, if it is perpendicular to the chord, or a perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord, bisects the chord. I'll repeat the property. A perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord bisects the chord. So what is given basically over here? Okay, let me just write down what is given. So given thing is if OM is perpendicular. This is a symbol of perpendicular. What do you mean by perpendicular? It makes 90 degrees. Generally, wall is perpendicular to the floor, isn't it? So many people don't know what is perpendicular. Perpendicular means this L shape, okay, where it forms a 90 degree. So remember that perpendicular means it makes 90 degree. So perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord always bisect the chord. That's a property. And now what will be the converse? Simple. A line drawn from the center, if it is bisecting the chord, then it would be perpendicular. So this is property number 2. So we learned property number 1 and property number 2. So hold on. We will first of all learn these two properties in detail, and then we'll we'll switch to property number 3 and 4 in a little while. Okay. So let me give you the explanation of this property number 1. So what is given in property number 1? OM is perpendicular to AB. This is given to you. Then what we have to prove, or to prove that? What comes in to prove that? Then AM is equal to BM. That is what we have to prove. And now how to prove that and what exactly property, you'll have to write it down quickly in your book, guys. Okay. So what is the property? If line drawn from the center, if it is perpendicular to the chord, then it bisects the chord. That's a property. And now how to prove this? Okay, so the proof also मैंने यहाँ पर लिखा है. Let me explain to orally first of all, and then I'll give you in the writing. So how we'll prove this? How geometrically we can write the justification what we are stating over here? So that is called as basically proof in geometry. You understood what do you mean by proof in geometry? Proof in geometry मतलब whatever we state over here, we'll have to write it on the geometrical reasoning kind of things, and that is called as proof. Okay, so हमने क्या बोला? OM is perpendicular. That means this is 90 degree and this is also 90 degree. And now if we'll join this OM and OB, they becomes the radii, and all the radii of the circles are always same, isn't it? So we got to know that OA is equal to OB, OM is the common side, and OMA and OMB are both right angles. So triangle OMA and triangle OMB, they are congruent, right? They are congruent. They are congruent by which test? Right angle, hypotenuse, and side. Right angle, hypotenuse, and side test. So I hope everyone know what is congruency. Okay. So these two triangles are congruent by which test? By RHS test. And once you'll say these two triangles are congruent, the corresponding parts of the congruent triangle, please follow my cursor, and the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are always congruent. So AM will be congruent to BM by CPCTC. Or you can say corresponding parts of congruent triangles are always equal or congruent, isn't it? So simple. I hope you understood this. And now I have written this proof over here. So in case if someone want to write it down this, please write it down this. In triangle OMA, in triangle OMB, these two are right angles. This OA is equal to OB because both are radii, and OM is equal to OM because common side. Therefore, this triangle OMA is congruent to triangle OMB by RHS test. Therefore, AM is equal to BN by CPCTC. I hope you understood that. Thumbs up. And now, just stay tuned. I'll teach you how to write the property number 2's proof. Okay? Give me 1 second break. Okay, so guys, we've already seen or we've written, I hope you assume, I assume that you've written the first property. Now it's time to start writing property number 2. And now what is this property number 2? Which I've already explained to you, a line drawn from the center, if it is bisecting the chord, then it is perpendicular. Now understand guys, when people write the proof for this particular property, they write the incomplete proof. So let me just teach you or show you what exactly is a complete proof. Okay, so how will write it down? What is given over here first of all? Say line drawn from the center to the midpoint of this chord. So if M is a midpoint, that means AM is equal to BN. It is given to you. I'll repeat, AM is equal to BN. It is given to you, isn't it? Next, we have to prove that OM is perpendicular to AB. This is what we have to prove. So we'll write down this is given. And this is to prove that. I hope everyone knows what is this if and then. So whatever comes after if and before then, that is called as given, and whatever comes after then, that is called as to prove that. Okay. And now how are we going to prove this property first of all? Okay. Prior to that, I'll just give you in the writing. If line drawn from the center, if it bisects the chord, then it is perpendicular. This is property number 2. If line drawn from the center bisect the chord, then it is perpendicular. Just remember that this property. Okay. Now, how to prove? So again, guys, what we're going to do? We will going to draw this OA and OB. So we're going to get these two triangles. What are the two triangles? So this would be the first triangle. Okay. I don't know, this function may not be working. So OMA is the first triangle. Very good, that's worked on time. And this is your second triangle. OMB is our second triangle. Are you getting it? So this is our second triangle. And now if you'll prove these two triangles are congruent, how are you going to prove these two triangles congruent? Think. How are you going to prove these two triangles congruent? Simple. OA is equal to OB because radius of the circle. OM is equal to OM. Common side of the triangle. So two sides okay, and then again we've been given AN is equal to BN. So these two triangles are congruent by which test? By SSS test. These two triangles are congruent. These two triangles are congruent by SSS test. I hope you can write this proof by your own. And now it's important part. इसके बाद generally लोग लिख देते हैं like this is X and this is X and so this is OM perpendicular to AB, and that is wrong proof. Are you understanding why that is a wrong proof? Let me show you how you'll have to write it down thereafter. So we can say that OMA and OMB is equal to X by CPCTC. This would be by CPCTC. Why these two are X? You understood? AMO and BMO are both X because when the two triangles are congruent, the corresponding parts of the congruent triangles are congruent. Then 2x is equal to 180. Why 2x is equal to 180 degree? इसका reason रहेगा by linear pair. Linear pair angles are supplementary. Are you understanding? So linear pair angles are supplementary. So x plus x will make 280. So x is equal to 90. And once you prove x is equal to 90 degree, you are actually eligible to write it down. OM is perpendicular to AB, and that's how we prove this. OM is perpendicular to AB. I hope you have understood this, and please, I pause, or else you can pause this video over here and start writing this proof and this statement quickly in your book. Hurry up, guys. So by now we've learned two properties of the circle. Now let's see what is exactly third and fourth. See, understand. In a circle or in a congruent circle or in two congruent circles, one and the same thing, but just the different wording. Please understand this wording of this property. In a circle or else in two congruent circles, two or more chords, if they are congruent, two or more chords, if they are congruent, then they are equidistant from the center of the circle. I hope you understood the property. It's a very simple property. I'll just zoom it so that you can understand it better. 1 second, guys. Okay. So what is this property? I'll repeat. In a same circle or else in two congruent circles, two or more chords, if they're equal, मतलब chord AB is equal to chord CD is equal to chord AF is equal to chord FG is equal to whatever. If the chords are equal, then their distances from the center is equal. You understood what is this property? That's property number 3. And what's property number 4? Same thing. In a circle or else in two congruent circles, if the chords are equidistant, then they are congruent. I'll repeat 3 and 4 property once again so that you can understand it perfectly. In a circle or else in a congruent circle, two or more chords, if they are congruent, then their distances from the center is equal. And vice versa, in converse, what we're going to say? In a circle or else in a congruent circle, if the chords are equidistant from the center, then they are congruent. I hope you understood what is this property number 3 and 4. And that's it for the day, guys. I hope you enjoyed learning along with me, isn't it? Okay, guys. So please put it quickly in your book. Hurry up, guys. What do you do? Put it. So guys, what we've been given over here, let's understand once again. Chord AB is equal to chord CD. In a circle, if the two or more chords are equal, means what? If AB is equal to CD, then what we can say? OM is equal to ON. Then what we can say? OM is equal to ON. And what is the property, student, over here? Look at this. This is the property. Please write down this property quickly in your book. If two or more chords are congruent, then they are equidistant from the center. And vice versa over here, what we can say? If chords are equidistant from the center, then they are congruent. So what will be given over here? The distances from the center, matlab OM would be equals to ON. OM will be equals to ON in property number 4. And in that case, what we have to prove in property number 4? We have to prove that chord AB is equal to chord CD. I hope you understood this. Please put it quickly in your book. Hurry up. Okay. Now it's time to write down the proof for these properties. And now how to write the proofs? It's very simple, guys. Very simple. Last 10 minutes. So let's quickly write down this. What is the proof for this? Okay. Please try and understand. I'll write down the proof for this property number 4. Okay. So that you can write down the property number 3's proofs by your own. So that you'll understand. Let's draw over here. Let's say this is called as radii. So join OA and OC. Now we can say OA is equal to OC. Why OA is equal to OC? Please understand what I have to prove. Understand over here. What we have to prove? We have to prove over here that chord AB is equal to chord CD. And what have been given to us? OM is equal to ON. This is what been given to us, isn't it? Now let's understand. If we have to prove that AB is equal to CD, that means we'll have to prove that these two triangles are congruent. Which two triangles are congruent? These two triangles need to be proved they are congruent. So we'll try and prove these two triangles are congruent. And how we'll prove these two triangles are congruent? One second, guys. Please control your mic. Okay. So now in this case, what we're going to say? OM is equal to ON, which is already given to us. So in triangle OMA and triangle ONC, in these two triangle OM is equal to ON, isn't it? It is already given to us. Look at this. Next, OA is equal to OC. They are radius of the same circle. And now we can say that, see, this is a perpendicular distance. Oh, let me change the color. This is perpendicular distance, isn't it? Because they are distances. So distances from the center, matlab, it has to be perpendicular. So these two triangles become congruent by which test? They become congruent by right angle, hypotenuse, and side test. So these two triangles are congruent. Are you all getting it? These two triangles become congruent. And if we prove these two triangles are congruent, then we can say that AM is equal to CN by CPCTC. Corresponding parts of the congruent triangles are congruent. And if we'll prove that if AM is equal to CN, then obviously AB will be equals to CD. Why AB is equal to CD? Because when the halves are equal, the doubles will also be equal, isn't it? So suppose A had 2, then even this will become 2. So obviously if this AM is 2, that means MB will also be 2. So AB will become 4. And in that case, CD will also become 4. And that's how we proved that chord AB is equal to chord CD. I hope you understood this. And now how to write it on this? I'll show you over here in elaborated way. So we will start writing down first of all in triangle. Okay, let me just copy paste the diagram over here so that I do not have to scroll it again and again. So let me just select this diagram. Okay, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Let me just select the diagram. And I'll just copy paste this for my convenience, guys. You do not have to do that. And
So can you minimize?
Yeah, 1 minute, 1 minute. I will. So paste it over here. I'm just pasting it over here for my convenience so that I can just keep referring this over here and I can keep writing this proof. So how to write it on this proof, guys? Understand. So first of all, I'll write it on in triangle AMD, okay, or AMO, in triangle AMO and triangle. See, I'm writing the proof in front of you so that you can understand this very well. And triangle, since I'm writing AMO, I'll have to write triangle CNO. CNO. Now in this two triangle, what we have? We have to prove by RHS test. So I'll write it on RHS. So understand, student, this is the speciality of this geometrical proof. You should know in your brain very well how to represent it. So write it on first of all only RHS test over here. So which right angle are we considering over here? Angle AMO is equal to or is congruent to angle CNO. CNO, both 90 degrees. Please write it down, reason there and there itself, so that you won't lose any single marks of writing proof. Hypotenuse. What is hypotenuse over here, students? AO. So write it down over here, hypotenuse. Okay, यहाँ पर लिखना जरूरी है. Hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. If you'll not write this hypotenuse word, your teacher might reduce your 1 mark. Understand, guys? So write it on hypotenuse. AO is equals to hypotenuse CO. Why? Basically, they are radii of the same circle. I hope you remember this radii meaning plural of radius, radii of same circle. Isn't it? And now we can write it down over here. What is this side? What is the side over here? The remaining side, we finished this right angle, we finished this hypotenuse, and now what is this? MO is equal to NO. Why MO is equal to NO? Because it is given. It is given in the given part. So if it is given in the given part, then what will say? Triangle AMO. Triangle AMO is congruent to triangle CNO. Please understand that. Why these two triangles are congruent? Obviously by RHS test. By RHS test. I hope you are understanding how neatly and systematically I'm writing this geometrical proof. Many people find this geometry writing proof is like, bit challenging. So student, no need to worry or no need to get scared. You write it down very easily, very calmly, all these things. Once you write down this AMO and CNO, they are congruent. What can we say? Yes, AM is equal to CN. Why we can write this AM is equal to CN? Simple, by CPCTC. Now student, understand, if your teacher is not allowing to write down this CPCTC, you can write down over here corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So see what your teacher is writing and then follow. If your teacher is writing CPCTC, you also can write down this CPCTC. If your teacher is not allowing to write down this CPCTC, then write down the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So you take a call with respect to your teacher. Now, if AM is equal to CN, then obviously double of AM is equal to double of CN, isn't it? I just multiply equation number 1 by 2, isn't it? Equation number 1, I just multiplied by 2, both sides. So what is double of AM? What is double of AM? Obviously AB. And what is double of CN? What is double of CN? It's CD. So hence proved. Isn't it so simple proof? People just get scared. Oh my God, how do I write it down? Geometry proof. It is like out of my brain. I can't do this. I can't do that. Just keep making bahana bazi. That's it. Nothing else, isn't it? So I hope you enjoyed writing along with me this geometrical proof. It's very simple, guys. Please put this quickly or immediately in your book. Okay, this is what the entire proof. I'll just show you over here. Okay, this is what you'll have to supposed to write down in your proof. First of all, draw the diagram, then write down what is given, then write down what is to be proved, then what is the statement, and then this entire proof. I hope you understood this everything. Thank you for watching this video. So I finished over here all the 4 properties of chords. Okay, so see you in the next video. I'm going to teach you some sums based on these all 4 properties in my next video. Till then, all the best.